What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. For those of you who played along with the summer specials this week, thank you so much. I announced the winners of all the raffles this morning. I think you got an email, so check that. If you are one of the winners, you would have received it. For today, I want to talk about grief and loss and not being afraid of it. And let's talk about it. Episode, God knows what, 10? I don't know. Thank you for being here on this journey too. I'm just having the best time and love engaging with you all. So I hope these are resonating with you. And as always, just let me know if there's anything in particular you want to talk about or hear about from a mindful perspective. With the loss of Chadwick coming in Friday night, like so many of you, and probably more so for many of you, more than others, it was a really hard bit of information to hear. There's a large part of yesterday that I really let myself feel sad and frustrated and brokenhearted and disappointed and really truly grieving the loss of his bright light for I think the community as a whole. And I think someone posted this, that you know, when someone famous dies that is so beloved like he was, part of the outpouring that happens, part of the kind of catharsis that transpires, is because they almost become like a communal symbol for all the loss that we've already been feeling. And I think that was part of it, is just like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God, someone else gone. Oh my God, so not him. Oh my God. You know, there was just so much. When anyone dies, it's hard, right? But there's something about souls like this man where there's just kind of hope and kindness. It's someone like him, I feel like, is the best of us. You know, an example of the best version of what each of us can be and has within. So I think that's part of it, you know. And for, like we've talked about, either to just horrible, unnecessary, violent events, or the virus itself, like this year has taken a lot of our loved ones, whether we knew them or not. You know, just collectively, there's a lot of loss and a lot of grief, and I have been dancing around talking about this the whole time, and I definitely have moments where I do teach about it, talk about it with people, clients, privately. And when I lost my dad, my therapist said, she goes, you know, you're feeling this immense grief and pain because there was so much to be grateful for, because there was so much good there. And you feel that kind of deep loss, like you feel it even more because there was so much love there. And I think we forget, you know, it's and honestly, quite frankly, even like loss is loss. So even if you had a tumultuous relationship with your parent or cousin or grandparent or, you know, friend or whoever any of you might have lost so far this year, you know, it's still a person. It's still a person. And we all know deep down that every single one of us is doing the best that we can, that we're showing up as fully as we're able, that when something like this comes to an end, it obviously makes us look at our own mortality, our own choices, like how much is left for me, nothing's guaranteed. It just brings up all of these thoughts and all of these feelings. But at the end of the day, I think we also there's concern for these families, you know, with the coronavirus deaths being, what's the number even up to, like 170,000. It's not just those lives that are gone, because by the way, those people that leave us, like, they're moving on to whatever's next, you know. what is it? Oh my God, this is like the third time I'm quoting Harry Potter. So there you go. There's the real nerd in me. But I think Dumbledore says something to Harry like, don't pity the dead, Harry, pity the living. And above all else, pity those without love, or something like that. And I just think it's so true. We're the ones here. And to my point, you know, those 170,000 lives and souls lost are more than just that person. They're the family of that person. It's all the survivors of that person that are now in deep grief, that are now in deep loss, that are now processing what that experience was for them. And again, not just coronavirus, like just normal life stuff going on, plus again these horrible, you know, crimes being committed, and all of the above. And loss and death are a part of life. I don't know the poet, maybe a philosopher, and it's one of just the coolest, most succinct quotes on death I've ever heard. And he said, the meaning of life is that it ends. The meaning of life is that it ends. And I think it's so powerful because grief and loss is an exquisite teacher. It will wreck you, for sure. For sure. But I think, like with anything, the more we resist, the more we elongate the process. You know, we might, like, the more we're like, oh, I'm not going to go there. It's going to go there. Like, it's going to happen in you, whether you want it to or not. It's going to manifest in a million different ways. So might as well lean in, you know, double down on the grief, double down on the process. Go get yourself a therapist. Please go get yourself a therapist, or find a grief group. Like, there's counseling, there's therapy, there's group. Like, please, 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 oh please, get support during this time. Because especially if the journey for your family is like everyone's tapped. So again, whether it's the Black community, who I have to imagine are just like, y'all are just generally exhausted from all of this, you know, so you may not even have anything to give to each other. Or if you had a loved one in the hospital, or they're again, like, having nothing to do with any of these things, like just battling a disease that they have just anyway, you know, before this year, and you're a caregiver or something, like the people in your own circle, because you've all been, you know, in the trenches together, like, nobody might have any space or bandwidth to support each other. So that's why it's so important, please, to go get help if you can. Like, please, because there's nothing wrong with feeling this tremendous amount of pain that comes from losing someone, whether you knew them or not. From Chadwick to your grandpa, you know, to a stranger that you hear about, read about, see a video on. Like, it's fine. It's fine to feel these feelings. They will not break you. I promise, I promise, I promise. We are capable of more than we know. And that includes, that's not just like vision boardy, you know, you have the power of the universe within you, which you do, to accomplish anything. But also, you're more capable than you think of moving through pain. I guarantee it, you guys. I guarantee it. Trust it. Find something bigger, find something deeper, find something higher, and get help. And keep coming back to love. And frickin' scream into a pillow, go for a walk, cry your eyes out for 3 weeks straight. You will come out on the other side. You will come out on the other side. And when you feel this grief, when you feel this loss, all that it does is show you how human you are. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because it means you care. It means you have love in your heart. It means you want your brothers and sisters and fellow souls on this earth to know joy, to know peace, to know abundance, to be at ease in their life. And when these moments come up for all of us, it's a reminder that, yes, sometimes that's possible. Maybe most of the time that's our circumstance, but that all of us go through this pain. All of us go through this grief. And it highlights the fragility and the preciousness of this life and of each moment in it. And from that grief and from that loss and from that pain, a new version of you will be born that is more complete. That is more complete. That has more space to hold the duality of life. You'll be more compassionate and understanding when you see someone, and you'll see it. You'll see, oh, I know what they're going through because I just did that. So you'll be more compassionate, more kind, more patient, more understanding. If you let it do its job with you, and keep finding the lesson, keep getting curious, keep loving yourself. It's okay that my heart feels broken. It's okay that I've cried for 4 weeks straight. It's okay that I'm angry. All of those sensations are there to teach you something. And I promise you, once you move through it, it's amazing. It's amazing. The world becomes more beautiful. It's easier to be grateful. It's easier to feel less like a victim. It's easier to complain less. You'll complain less and be grateful more. You'll see more. You'll see the gift in all of it. I promise. But the way to get to that depth and that perspective is to move through this stuff that we're in right now. Get help. You're not alone. Take care of yourself. Rest. Move through it. Feel it. It won't break you. It'll free you. I promise. I promise. I promise. So, hope you needed this today. My love to yours. Feel it. Just feel it.